What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Brandon here from Red State, and we have Alinsky rearing his ugly head once again. This time, Rule 4. Make your opponents live up to their system of rules. Now, what they're trying to do right now pertains to Herschel Walker, a Senate candidate in Georgia who is up against Raphael Warnock, who is the incumbent. Raphael Warnock is a radical leftist who really loves abortion and is kind of a radical, all things considered. Herschel Walker is his Republican opponent. Herschel Walker is nipping at his heels. And so naturally, you have the left coming out with a lot of 11th hour stuff about Walker in order to trip him up at the finish line and make it easy for Warnock to get the win here. So what are we talking about? Well, here's how they've decided to attack Walker. They have decided to allow his son to come in at the 11th hour and begin speaking out against Walker, saying that he was a deadbeat dad, he was abusive, absentee, all this stuff about him. You also have a story from the Daily Beast that came out that said in 2009, Walker had paid for a woman to get an abortion. And they have receipts such as a card and a get well card from Walker and a $700 check. All of this is now coming out suddenly out of the blue. And it's interesting that it's happening right now because what they're trying to do is not necessarily turn away independent voters. They're trying to turn away Republicans. They're trying to weaken Walker's base so that he pretty much has his legs swept out from under him. I want to show you guys something real fast. I'm going to read a little article for you here, or at least part of an article. It's from redstate.com. Go to redstate.com right now. Sign up for the VIP program. Link in the description. Use promo code SAVEAMERICA. Get you 40% off. You get all sorts of great stuff that front pagers don't get, including podcasts, articles, and soon videos from yours truly. Go ahead. Sign up. Link in the description. Promo code SAVEAMERICA. 40% off. You won't regret it. I'm just going to read you this part right here. As you can see, you've got Christian Walker just suddenly tweet bombing. He's releasing tweets, videos, everything, denouncing Walker suddenly out of the blue. This is all happening. He held it in apparently for years, but now he needs to speak out about it now that his father's about to win office. But I want to read you this right here because it pretty much sums it up. This is from Jeff Charles. Herschel Walker has been plagued by dirty laundry that has come up at various points during the campaign season. The Daily Beast in particular has been pretty aggressive in dredging up issues from the NFL legend's past. Earlier this year, the far-left outlet reported that Herschel had children that he had supposedly kept secret and did not have contact with despite being a vocal critic of absentee fathers. However, Herschel's campaign countered by noting that he had disclosed his other children when he filed out a form in 2018 to be appointed to former President Donald Trump's Council on Sports. So, from what I understand, what ended up happening is that Walker wanted to not talk about these people publicly despite filing them and their existence, admitting their existence officially via paperwork, because he did not want all these kids to suddenly become the center of a bunch of media frenzy. And the media is known to go after family members, invade privacy, basically make people's lives live a living hell if it helps the Democrats achieve power. That's what he was trying to do. That's according to Walker. But let's continue. Nevertheless, the former athlete still received criticism for not speaking publicly about his estranged children. Herschel's issues with mental illness and domestic violence were also used against him during primary season when one of his opponents seeking the Republican nomination brought up his past issues. While the former football player had already discussed these problems publicly, noting that he had made amends with his former wife, who is Christian's mother. Democrats have also leveraged this part of his past. So, I honestly do think that there is a value to being a reformed bad person. Many people who are truly good, who do good, are people who have done evil in the past and are now trying to make up for it. They repent from it, and they want to do better. It seems like Walker is on that path. Again, I want to make something very clear. I don't think Herschel Walker was the best person ever. I don't think that he is someone you should emulate. I don't think that he made decisions in the past that were at all good. In fact, I would call them evil. If many of these things are true that are being claimed about him, then it is something he has a lot to make up for. But I have noticed that there are a lot of people who have evil pasts who become very good because they know what it is to be evil and how much they regret it and how it hurts people. Okay? They are probably more wise about their goodness than most people. I'm not making excuses for Walker here. Let me be very clear. I'm not making excuses for Walker. But I do think that people do deserve forgiveness if they want it and work toward it. And it seems like Walker is on that path. And I'm not going to be the guy who who says that he should never be forgiven and he, no one can change their stripes. They are their sins that they committed in the past no matter what. I don't believe that to be true. I do believe that forgiveness is a virtue, and it should be extended to everyone who works for it. And it seems that Walker is out here working for it. Now the Daily Beast has also reported that a woman is accusing Herschel of having paid for an abortion in 2009. She claims he urged her to terminate her pregnancy and even paid for the procedure. She supported these claims with a $575 receipt from the abortion clinic, a get well card from Walker, and a bank deposit receipt that included an image of a signed $700 personal check from Walker, according to the site. The woman said she came forward because of Herschel's opposition to abortion. I just can't with the hypocrisy anymore, she said. We all deserve better. So right now, these receipts that the Daily Beast provided and are standing by 100% according to them, are being denied by the Walker campaign and Walker himself. In fact, he's going so far as to sue the Daily Beast for this story. We have yet to find out whether or not this is true. And I hope it's not. I hope it's not true, because it means if it is that, and Walker is lying, then it means that, Walker still has some issues with telling the truth, and we don't want that, of course. However, if it is true, this really doesn't mean much, because this took place 13 years ago. People can change their stripes. People who are in the pro-life community, who are activists, anti-abortion activists, some of them actually had abortions in their past or took place in the abortion industry. They are some of the most loud voices out there. They are some of the most charged up people fighting for the pro-life cause. Regret is a powerful teacher. And people can learn and change all the time. Now, Walker is, according to him and the things that he has said, a very pro-life person. If this story is true, and I hope it's not, of course, but if it is true, then he clearly has learned. And he regrets. And we should, at this moment, take him at his word. He is a person who is trying to run for office and enact pro-life legislation. Meanwhile, Warnock is a person who loves abortion and will enact abortion legislation, pro-abortion legislation. Let me tell you what's happening here. The left is attempting to get you to turn your back, not independents, but Republicans, trying to get them to turn their back on Walker by making accusations and claims that discredit him in their eyes. And they're telling Republicans that if they don't turn their back on Walker, then they're hypocrites. As if no one can change their stripes. In order to be considered a true conservative, you must turn your back on Walker because he had once paid for a woman to get an abortion 13 years ago. They want you, the Republican Party and conservatives, to cancel Walker. Not them, you. That's what they want. And it's pretty clear as to why. I'm going to show you this. And I'll show you why a lot of this is happening at the 11th hour. It's happening because of this right here. As you can see from the Real Clear Politics poll, Walker is only a little bit, Warnock is only a little bit over Walker with just a little over a point. He's leading Walker with little over a point. This is why they're suddenly coming out with this. They don't have this race locked up. They're afraid. They're scared that Walker is going to overcome Warnock. And there's a good chance that he can. There's a good chance that he will. So they are going to try to sweep the leg and go after Walker's past. This is why all this is only coming forward now. They are trying to manipulate you into turning your back on a Republican candidate in the hopes that you'll not vote for him, you'll stay home, or you'll try to vote some third-party candidate, and that way Warnock can just kind of mosey on into office. And then once he's in there, he can enact whatever legislation he wants, or help enact whatever legislation he wants. Pro-abortion legislation, radical leftist policies, whatever. They are trying to make it seem like you have to turn your back on Walker, or else. But I would like to say this. There have been politicians in the past who have exhibited pro-abortion stances. But because of their actions, we now have one of the most pro-life Americas we've ever had. And that man is Donald Trump. Donald Trump was not always a pro-life person. But he enacted pro-life legislation through the use of senators, through the use of judges. And now Roe v. Wade is dead. It's a good lesson to learn here, I think. I think that you can come away from this by understanding that sometimes the politician that you have is not always going to be perfect. And no politician is perfect. We're all humans. We're fallible. But it seems to me that right now you have a left that is trying to convince you that the Republican candidate is pure evil, and that if you vote for him, you're also pure evil. Don't fall for it. Don't be manipulated by it. I think Walker should continue his journey of repenting for the sins that he committed in the past. I think that people should be open to forgiving him. And I think that we should probably not try to be so judgmental. And I think that many Republicans are in agreement with this. Many Republicans are, after all, Christians who do believe in forgiveness and the idea that people can repent and turn away from what they once were. It's all in the Bible. And it seems that the left kind of forgets that. They forget that we believe that a man can change his stripes and become a different person. That people who were once sinful can stop being sinful and lead a new life. It seems to me that this is what Walker is doing, but they don't want you to think about that. What they want is for you to abandon Walker so that they can get their man elected. That's really what this boils down to. The race is too close. They don't want to take a chance, so they're going to try to manipulate and fool you into abandoning your candidate. Don't do that. Don't let them fool you. Be sure to subscribe, press the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.